Thank you for joining me once again. This is my update for the 3rd of November 2025. I have 3 interesting topics to discuss with you today. The first topic: Russia carried out another massive strike all over the territories of Ukraine late last night and the early hours of this morning. The second topic: Donald Trump denied giving Ukraine Tomahawk missiles or giving the all clear for Ukraine to have these deadly missiles. The final topic: the UK government provided Ukraine with more Storm Shadows missiles to fire deep inside Russian Federation. This is going to be a very interesting update, so stay tuned. Let's pick these topics one after the other. Russia carried out another massive strike all over the territories of Ukraine using missiles and drones late last night, and all the attentions were focused on the Pavlograd city in Dnipro for some odd reason. This is the first time Russia actually focused the attention on these cities. Mykolaiv was also attacked, and also Kherson was attacked. Obviously, Pokrovsk was also hammered by Russia overnight. 12 missiles of various kinds were used in that attack. 130 something drone, I think about 31 Shahed drone was also used in that attack overnight. Russia used a combination of Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, Iskander ballistic missiles, surface-to-air missiles like the S-300 and S-400 missiles, and hundreds and hundreds of Shahed drones were used in that attack by Russia. The Ukrainian Air Force claimed they shot down one Kinzhal hypersonic missile. Now, it's up to you to believe. And they shot down 115 Shahed drones that was launched by Russia last night. It is up to you to believe those claims, and it is up to you not to believe. But stay tuned, because you will find the truth in this video. Before the end of this video, you'll be able to make up your mind if the Ukrainian government were lying or if they were telling the truth. So stay with me. The ultimate question is, why did Russia attack that small city late last night? That is the question. Why would Russia focus so much attention on Pavlograd last night? I will tell you why. Or I will try to tell you why. Hopefully, it will make sense by the time you finish watching this video. At the moment, Pavlograd city is the current logistic hub in the eastern part of Ukraine. Every other stronghold in the eastern part of Ukraine had either been conquered by Russia or currently being engaged by Russia. For example, Pokrovsk and Kupiansk and so on and so forth. Those are currently being engaged and almost being taken by Russia. So Ukraine cannot use those strongholds anymore. This is the reason why they moved their logistic hub far away from the front line to Pavlograd city in Dnipro region. And I strongly believe this is the reason why Russia engaged that city late last night and this morning. And I will tell you the losses, and I will tell you the casualty that was suffered by Ukraine in that attack from Russia. So the reason why they moved the logistic hub to the Pavlograd city is because Zelensky and his NATO commanders had to look for other areas far away from the contact line. That is the reason why they chose Pavlograd city to supply weapons and supply forces and supply ammunition and anything, food supplies, weapon supply, military personnel rotation, and so on and so forth is now being done from the Pavlograd city in Dnipro. Russia must have had an intel about something, or they must have found out Zelensky had sent a new batch of military forces to the city to be deployed to the front line. And obviously, Vladimir Putin took them out before they even got to the front line. We will soon hear more about this attack once the Ministry of Defense give us their own update. As at the time I was making a video, there is no update from the Ministry of Defense yet. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, you would have got more information on this attack. Don't expect to get those information from the Western media, because you're not going to get it. You know why you won't get it from the Western media? Because it is against them. Do you know what it is? If it's against them, you will never find out. You have to be very, what's the word? You have to be very good in searching. You have to have some connection, some source to get this information when it is against them. As you would expect, there were many explosions reported from that city, Pavlograd, last night. The command of Ukrainian armed forces in the Vostok city confirmed that Russian missile and drone hit the position of Ukrainian armed forces in the Dnipro region in the Pavlograd city last night, and an extensive damage was inflicted. This was the command post of a different city reporting on what happened in Pavlograd in the Dnipro last night. They had no choice. They had to report that because, like I said, they suffered heavy casualties in that attack from Russia. The combined strike, this was according to the command. They continued. They said the combined strike resulted in injuries and fatalities amongst Ukrainian forces. The level of damage and losses is currently being assessed. That was the statement they put forward. That was put out by the commander unit in Vostok region of Ukraine. I actually don't know exactly the nature of strike that was carried out by Russia, but one thing for sure is that they dealt a big blow to Ukrainian armed forces manpower. Given that the command unit in Vostok had to make an urgent statement, that meant that, the entire unit in that region was probably deleted completely. But they claim there was a lot of injuries and fatalities amongst the military personnel in Pavlograd. But for me, I strongly believe they were all deleted. But we would never know, would we? Or what they tell us is what we believe. This morning, a pro-Ukrainian source published pictures and videos of heavy thick smoke over the city of Pavlograd, and they reported it was because of the heat from Russia Iskander ballistic missiles and Kyiv ballistic missiles last night and this morning. And you know, when Russia used their Kyiv to attack any area, that information is confirmed. Something is there. Russia would not spend $1 million just for no reason. Because each of those Kyiv missiles cost $1 million. So you can understand why it is non-stoppable. You can understand why it always gets to a target once it is fired. That is why I believe the entire unit in that Pavlograd city were completely deleted. Meanwhile, let's go to the second topic. The United States continue to openly deny giving an all clear for the Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine. Donald Trump was asked today while he was on Air Force One by one of the press, is it true that the United States approved Tomahawk missiles for Ukraine? Donald Trump denied it point blank. He said, no, there's nothing like that. And then he turned away. I'm going to play that short video for you just to make it make sense. He completely denied, point blank, live on TV. Many people are claiming a decision was made by the United States, by Donald Trump, last week on giving Ukraine those missiles. But after Vladimir Putin's nuclear threat, Donald Trump vetoed his own decision to give Ukraine those missiles. He completely ruled out giving those Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. But a few days ago, we heard the rumor that those missiles had been approved for Ukraine by Donald Trump. But then all of a sudden, after Vladimir Putin made his nuclear threat, Donald Trump flip-flop and vetoed his own decision. He said Ukraine will not be getting those missiles, even if those missiles had already reached Poland, which I strongly believe they are already in Poland. NATO will not be giving them to Ukraine because of obviously what is going on at the moment. You just cannot believe. We cannot believe anything anymore these days with this politician. They say one thing and they do another thing. They do another thing and they say one thing. I couldn't confirm this information, okay? Don't think everything I've just told you regarding this is either true or lie. I couldn't confirm this, but I wouldn't be surprised because we've seen even worse than this. We've seen Donald Trump, since he became president, we've seen him done crazy stuff than this. He will say one thing and then he does another. Donald Trump said he had given up on Ukraine and Russia. Again, the guy is dabbing, once again, trying to dodge his own problem. He said he had given up on Ukraine and Russia. For me, this is how I look at it. Now, this is personally from me. This is how I see it. If Ukraine gets those Tomahawk missiles, Venezuela gets Russian hypersonic or ballistic missiles at the backyard of the United States. That table has now turned. In fact, the table is turning slowly toward the United States. You get what I mean? If Ukraine get those Tomahawk missiles, Venezuela will get Russian hypersonic and ballistic missiles. End of. That is the bottom line. I think the Venezuela situation is going to choke the United States because every countries that are not friends with the United States is going to try to keep United States busy at the backyard. For example, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, and many more countries that want United States to stay busy, to mind their own business. They will do everything and anything to make sure Venezuela continue to stand and fight back. Even though they will take the beating. For example, see what's going on in Ukraine. The 52 country plus had kept Russia busy for the last nearly 4 years. But Russia is still standing. Let's wait and see how defendable the United States really is when missiles and drones start to fly to and fro. It is sweet when they talk about it, but when it start happening, it is a different thing. Look what we talk about Russia now. There's no chance, there's no way any country will ever beat the defenses of Russia to fly drones and missiles into Russia. But we completely forgot that Russia is a massive, gigantic country. You cannot physically protect the entire borderline. But unfortunately, Russia had learned. They've adapted. And the Russian border now, compared to before this war started, have been the most secure than any other country. Some of you will disagree with me on that, but many of you will obviously agree with me on that one. The table are turned, and I think the United States is going to start to feel the heat. Let's move quickly to the final topic because I'm conscious of the time. The UK government had provided more Storm Shadows missiles to Ukraine. Now, they provided these missiles, but the wordings that was used on the headlines are very dangerous. Now, they provided the missile for Ukraine to strike deep into Russia. Now, this was according to Bloomberg news outlet. They claim UK provided those missiles to Ukraine for Ukraine to launch them deep inside Russia. These guys are not even hiding it anymore. Before they would pretend and do it in the backyard, behind closed door. Nowadays, they are not even scared anymore. They just do it. Give it to Ukraine, let Ukraine fire it. You understand? You remember when this conflict first started? They always go behind closed door to give Ukraine things. But now, they are doing it in the open. Do you know why that is? Do you know why they are becoming so confident? It is because Vladimir Putin had been so slow and he's been too relaxed. He is not showing the actions that he is meant or he is supposed to be showing. And if this continue, trust me, if Vladimir Putin continue to relax and want to show he's a very generous, caring leader, this is going to get worse. They are going to continue to test Russia. Now, this is my own opinion or belief. I don't know what you think, but I just feel if Vladimir Putin do not take the right actions, they will continue to test Russia. And if Putin does not act, trust me, they will continue to test Russia. One day, mark my word, if this continue, one day, somebody will give Ukraine tactical nuke, and nobody will know who gave it to them. Mark my words, it is getting to that point. As you can see, UK provided Storm Shadow missiles for Ukraine. I don't know how many they're giving to Ukraine again, and they clearly said it to be used to attack deep inside Russia, not to be used to attack military facilities, not to be used to attack the front line where the Russians are, but instead to be used to attack deep inside Russian Federation. How does that sound to you? How does that sound to you? Now, let's take a look at this headline quickly. Then you understand what I mean. Let's have a look at it. It says, strikes into Russia. Not strike on Russian military target or strike on Russian facilities. No, but strikes deep into Russia. You see the wordings? They are not even scared about it anymore. They now say it in the open, like confidently, all because Vladimir Putin is being too relaxed. Apparently, the United Kingdom claimed, in their own defense, they claimed they gave Ukraine these missiles to stack up during the cold winter, as they suspect Vladimir Putin is preparing something really deadly. And they don't want Ukraine to fall or to collapse during this time. That is the reason why they gave Ukraine those storm shadows. That was the defense, or that was the explanation that was given by the UK. I don't know who made that statement or who said those words, but according to Bloomberg News, they said that is what the United Kingdom claimed. They gave those missiles to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves during the cold winter. Storm Shadow is not really a threat or a problem to Russian Federation, in the sense that they only have a range of about 250 kilometers. I think that's about 100 and something mile, or maybe less, I don't know, but about 250 kilometer range. It is not a problem to the Russian military or Russian forces, but it is a problem to the Russian civilians, to the Russian people, to the innocent Russian, citizen. It is a problem to them because those missiles cause a lot of damage when they hit, especially to all those regions that has borderline between Ukraine and Russia. Those are the regions that are most at risk of being hit with these Storm Shadows missiles. And we've seen them. For example, Belgrove, Bryansk region, the Kursk region, and so on and so forth. That is the range that Storm Shadow missile can get to. But at the same time, it is still a threat to the people of Russia. Like I said, if Vladimir Putin continues to sit back and relax, one day somebody is going to give Ukraine tactical nuke. Mark my word, and nobody will know who gave it to them. They will keep quiet and then something huge and something big, even more damaging, is going to happen. What do you guys think? Let me know your opinion and your thought in the comment sections. If you enjoyed the update, please indicate by giving us a like, and this will encourage us to put more. I need to know what kind of content you guys want. So if you're enjoying it, if you're finding information meaningful or useful, please give us a like, leave a comment if you have to. This will encourage me to continue to put out content. I mean, there's nothing as worse as making a video and then not engaging your audience. That is telling me you guys are not vibing with the information, and I will just basically stop putting out that kind of information. So if you're enjoying it, if you find it useful, please indicate by giving us a like. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.